Will you pray with me? May the words of my mouth and the meditations of all our hearts be acceptable to you, O God, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. We are continuing this week with our saga of Moses and the Hebrew children in the wilderness. And today, as we heard Mark read, we've come to the story of the golden calf. This is one of those top 10 of the Hebrew Bible stories, one that makes it into every children's Bible and Sunday school curriculum. And usually when we tell this story, we strip it down to just the basics. The Israelites worship an idol, thereby breaking the 10 commandments. That's bad. God and Moses get mad. The moral of the story: don't bow down to idols, whether it's the golden calf, the gold standard, or just plain gold. And certainly that is part of what happens here. But as the sermon title suggests, I think the story that Mark just read for us is a tale of two idols. One's just easier to spot than the other. The golden calf is the second idol in the story. It's the most obvious and egregious way that the people violate the first commandment: you shall have no other gods before me. After he builds this golden calf, Aaron literally tells the people, "These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt." They hold a festival, build an altar, bow down, and worship. But the golden calf is not where the idolatry problem starts. Back up with me in the story, if you will, for a moment or two. The text begins by telling us that the people are impatient because Moses has delayed in coming down the mountain. I don't know about you, but I get that. 40 days is a long time to wait in the wilderness for further instructions from your leader. 2 weeks is a long time to wait for the results from a biopsy or lab. 4 years is a long time to wait for the opportunity to cast your vote. 8 months or 18 months is a long time to wait to return to a beloved church building. We know a thing or two about waiting, and we know how excruciating the waiting can be when there's no end in sight. Waiting, longing, hoping. These are universal human experiences, and perhaps they help us cultivate a little compassion for the Israelites. They are not hard-hearted, wayward wanderers determined to forsake the God who loves them. They're scared, and they're tired, and they're weary for the waiting. If we're honest with ourselves, so are we. This band of weary, fearful refugees turns to Aaron and says, "Come, make gods for us who shall go before us. As for this Moses, the man who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him." Did you catch that? It's not God that the people are concerned about, it's Moses. They say Moses is the one who brought them up out of the land of Egypt. Moses has been gone so long that they want other gods to worship. The people have come to associate the presence of Moses with the presence of God so deeply that they are conflating the two. Moses is the arrow that points them toward God, the bridge that connects them, but the people have begun to treat him and think of him as if Moses himself is the God upon whom they depend. Remember a few weeks ago when the Israelites were hungry, they said to Moses, "You have brought us out in the desert to starve." And when they were thirsty, they asked, "Why are you going to let us die of thirst?" Moses keeps telling them, God will provide. God will not let you starve. But his words fall on deaf ears. The people have let go of God and latched on to Moses. The children of Israel don't start by running away after foreign gods. They start by looking to their leader, their godsend, Moses, and missing the message for the messenger. After all, God can be so intangible, so obtuse and beyond our comprehension. It's easier to hold on to something or someone that we can actually hear and see and touch. We do this too, don't we? We confuse the gifts with the giver, the creation with the creator. We latch on to the things and the people that connect us to God. Like the Israelites clung to Moses, we look for arrows pointing us to God, and then we grab on tight to the sign itself. Maybe it's a relationship or a recovery program, the beauty of creation or a beloved family tradition. Maybe it's a hope or a dream, whether for the political future of our nation or simply how we wanted to spend Christmas this year. Maybe it's the Bible or the church itself. Wonderful things that point us and connect us to God, but are not the ultimate source of our hope. It's an easy mistake to make. I do it all the time. In the last week alone, the list of things other than God in which I've grounded my security includes my health, my financial security, beloved family and friends, the right to vote, my morning coffee, brilliant yellow aspens, my cat, my partner's dog, and the life and legacy of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I could go on. Friends, these are good things. All these things that we latch onto, they are the gifts of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God. But they are not God. They are not the ultimate reality upon which we finally cast our hope. God used Moses to bring the Hebrew children out of Egypt. And at the end of the story, it is Moses who brings the wandering, idolatrous people back to God. It is Moses who intercedes for the people when God gets angry and wants to wipe out the Israelites and start over again. Moses is the bridge, the sign, the arrow pointing God back to the people and the people back to God. Friends, it is a hard time to be alive and a hard time to be the church. I saw an article in the Wall Street Journal yesterday called The Art of the Pandemic Meltdown, with the tagline, "Under stress from every front, we're having more meltdowns. Here's how to lose it the right way." So that's where we're at right now. Not how to make it through and keep it together, but how to completely fall apart with the least amount of lasting damage. Now, more than ever, we need those things, those people that connect us to God. We need the bridges, the links, the arrows. We need something to hope for. And the story reminds us we need to look to the source from whom all these blessings flow. So, folks, look around. What is giving you hope right now? What is pointing you towards God? What is restoring your faith in humanity? What is getting you through the day? Let's go toward those signs, those bridges, those arrows. And as tempting as it is, let us not stop there and hold on to them. But let's turn and walk where they point us. For it is there that we will meet our God. Amen.